Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Urvashi and today in this video I'm going to be talking about Jupiter going retrograde in the zodiac sign of Capricorn from the 14th of May till about the 12th of September. And what is special about this transit is that Jupiter is in the sign of Capricorn and it is conjunct Saturn, even though they're not very close in degrees. They're about 4 degrees apart. But still together they would be retrograding in the sign of Capricorn for about a month and a half till about the 29th of June. They're both going to be in Capricorn, and then Jupiter is going to go back into Sagittarius, and Jupiter will continue to be retrograde in Sagittarius till the 12th of September. So on the 13th Jupiter goes direct again. So there are a few things important about this transit. Firstly, Jupiter is debilitated and it's retrograde. Secondly, Jupiter is in the nakshatra of Uttarashada. I've already made a video on Saturn being retrograde in the nakshatra of Uttarashada, and this is about Jupiter now. So Jupiter starts its retrogression in Uttarashada and it goes back into Purvashada, into Sagittarius. Thirdly, Jupiter and Saturn are together impacting the sign of Capricorn as well as Cancer. Saturn from here aspects Pisces, Cancer and Libra. Jupiter aspects Taurus, Cancer and Virgo. So the common houses that we find here are Cancer and Capricorn. So these two houses are having the combined energy of Jupiter and Saturn. So this is an important transit for these ascendants, these moon signs, as well as for everybody else, depending on where these two signs, where this Cancer Capricorn axis falls for you. Another thing that is very important about this transit is that according to the classics, a debilitated retrograde planet is as strong as an exalted planet. So we have a very strong energy of Jupiter, an energy of Jupiter which is equivalent to exaltation. We have this energy of Saturn, even though it's retrograde, it's in Capricorn. They are in Uttarashada. They are together impacting both these signs. So the first thing here to keep in mind is retrogradations are always a time of slowing down. A lot of things will be slowed down, especially related to the 10th house of career, profession, as well as wherever the sign of Capricorn falls from your moon and your ascendant. You can check from both the signs. So you will feel a slowing down of things because together these planets are impacting the sign of Capricorn. So wherever they fall from the ascendant, from the moon, you should how you will see it from the moon is how you feel about those things. So from the moon it's more of a feeling thing, and from the ascendant it's how you experience, what your logic is telling you, how you approach things. So actually we should be seeing transit videos from both moon as well as ascendant. So you should check this video out from both of those signs, whatever those signs are for you. So it's definitely a slowing down of things. Slowing down as in whatever you were doing prior to this retrogression is suddenly going to kind of slow down, and it's going towards the past. Retrograde planets always kind of the energy takes us towards the past. Things from the past could come up where certain completions are necessary, certain corrections are necessary. Sometimes we leave things undone, incomplete, and we move on. So when retrogrades happen, and especially now when we already have 3 retrogrades, we also have a Venus retrograde right now, then a lot of things related to the past will come up. Now things could be related to the natural signification of these planets, the natural signification of Jupiter, knowledge, wisdom, a husband, there are so many significations: gurus, teachers, wisdom, good advice, prosperity, wealth, and natural significations of Saturn and natural significations of Venus. So Venus is comforts, luxuries, a spouse, your wife, vehicles. Then Saturn is hard work, labor, effort, and old people, responsibility, limitations. So it could be natural significations, it could be functional significations of the planet. Functional significations mean the houses that these 3 planets rule in your chart become their functional significations. So it could be the natural significations, it could be the functional significations of these planets that you may have to work over when the planet is going retrograde. So Jupiter-Saturn transits are very important because these are slow planets and they take a long time in any one direction. So when these 2 planets especially are retrograde, even when Venus goes retrograde, like Venus is retrograde right now, you will see that you get in touch with a lot of people from the past. Relationships from the past come up, people from the past come up, things that you were supposed to complete, you would tend to complete in those Venus retrograde periods. And Saturn, Jupiter, of course, like I mentioned, the few things I mentioned, plus keep the significations of the houses that they rule in your chart, keep those also in mind. So you may be going back to complete those things. So that is one thing about retrogrades. They always take you towards the past. And the best things to do during retrogrades is work over things that you left in the past. For example, Jupiter is knowledge. So any kind of education, any kind of knowledge that you were taking and you left midway, this is a great time to continue with that now. And Saturn, again, it could be career, it could be your responsibilities that you kind of did not take your responsibility or your share of responsibility, or whichever house Saturn rules, and you may need to go back over those things and kind of complete that thing, kind of take your responsibility, do the thing that you did not do. And again, Venus, whichever houses Venus rules, and then we're going to have Mercury as well. So it's all about going back, it's all about corrections and completions and revisions and revising our plans. It could be also plans related to Jupiter and Saturn. If Jupiter rules your 10th house or Saturn rules your 10th house, that this could be related to your career, plans about your career. It could be about relationships if it's the 7th house, or Venus rules, or because Venus is a natural significator. So there is a lot going on here because of this combined energy. But remember, it's all about the past. It's all about things that you left in the past, that were incomplete, that you wanted to do, that you started, you left midway, or things that you have been doing and maybe you need to go to the past and revise the plans. You're already doing those things, but you got to put a halt and you got to go back and you got to revise whatever the plan is and see if it's good enough. So this kind of an energy with so many retrogrades don't really, it's not very conducive for moving forward, but it's very conducive for going, revising the plans, revisiting whatever you had in mind. And so you could probably come up with a lot of changes in ideas, in plans, which you can implement once these planets go direct. So that's the basic gist of retrogression. So retrograde, we've understood it's all about going towards the past. Signification, natural as well as functional, whichever houses these 2 planets rule, and the sign of Capricorn, because this is happening in Capricorn and Cancer. Then, like I said, Jupiter is in, it's in debility, but since it's retrograde, it is going to give us the effect of exaltation. Now here Jupiter is impacting Capricorn and Cancer. So some impact, some positivity, some exaltation result from these 2 houses, since Saturn and Jupiter are together aspecting Cancer and together they are posited in Capricorn. Something related to this axis, some positivity can be expected in our lives in this month and a half till the end of June, because Jupiter will move into Sagittarius on the 29th of June. So we have a month and a half and some positivity can be expected, because Jupiter, like I said, is going to give the effect of exaltation. And this double transit, both of them aspecting this house of Cancer and both of them being posited in Capricorn, can trigger something specially related to the past, something that you started in the past and maybe you've been waiting for some kind of a result of that thing. Maybe you left that thing midway, you gave it up. Some positivity can be expected. So I'm going to quickly touch the ascendants, and I'm going to be talking about what kind of a positive result is it that we can expect from this. But then Jupiter is also moving into Sagittarius. So Jupiter moving into Sagittarius, again, will of course give us the results of Jupiter in Sagittarius. I've already made a video of that. But remember, it's in retrogression. So anything related to the house of Sagittarius also from July, the 1st of July, then we have August, then about the 12th of September. Those 2.5 months, Jupiter will be in Sagittarius. So whatever things I discussed in my video about Jupiter in Sagittarius, those things, but going back, revising those things can happen. But what is more important right now, what I feel is very important, is this month and a half with that exaltation effect of Jupiter, combined the Saturn effect on these two houses, on this axis, and how it can benefit us. So I'm just going to, touch this axis a little bit for all the zodiacs. So for Aries, this is the, for Aries as well as for Libra, this is the 410 axis, Aries and Libra. So this could be related to home, property, real estate, family, your happiness, your education, your career, your status position. So you could have started something new in the past. You may be getting some good news now, just in this month and a half. You could have initiated some property dealing a while back. It could have, you could have then, initiated it and left it midway, and it may get through now. You may get some good news. So something related to home, property, career, vehicles, your mother, your happiness, some kind of positivity may come about for you in this next month and a half till the end of June. Now I'm going to be talking about Taurus and Scorpio. For Taurus and Scorpio, this is the 3rd and the 9th house. This could be related to travel, this could be related to education, this could be related to some kind of communication, your siblings, your father, your family, neighbors, friends, higher education, higher knowledge, values, a pilgrimage, an opportunity, a moving away from home because of an opportunity. So this could be anything related to all these things for both these ascendants and moon signs. So if it's like your moon, I'm just going to give you an example. If it's your moon, let's suppose you're a Scorpio moon. So this is your 3rd house and your 9th house, or even a Taurus moon. It's your 3rd house and your 9th house. You may better be able to connect with your siblings during this point of time. There could be some travel to go meet your father, to go meet your siblings. You could be getting together with your siblings. You could start with an education that you left midway. If, in the past somewhere you had a tussle with a sibling, you may kind of patch up with them now. There could be an opportunity. And if it's from the ascendant, there could be a moving away, a literal moving away from home because of some opportunity, or going away somewhere for an education, or an increase in communication with your father, or with a boss, or with a guru, or with a teacher. So now I'm going to be talking about Gemini and Sagittarius. For Gemini and Sagittarius, this is your 2nd house and your 8th house. So this is the axis of wealth. So this could be related to finances, this could be related to family, your extended family, this could be related to your spouse's family, this could be an inheritance, an investment that pays off now. This axis also shows growth in family, because the 2nd house is family, the 8th house is the growth of family. So this could also be a growth, some new addition in the family. So this could be anything related to wealth, money, inheritance, your immediate family, your spouse's family, or some form of growth in family, investments, gain from investments. But this axis also having Saturn and Jupiter there together and retrograde. I would say definitely you guys need to take care of your health, Gemini and Sagittarius, especially ascendant, Gemini, Sagittarius, ascendant people. Then I'm going to be talking about Cancer and Capricorn. So for Cancer, Capricorn people, this is the 1st and the 7th house. This is all about you and how you relate to people, how you interact with people, going away, long distance travel, getting some good news about going away, some news maybe you've been waiting for, something that you started in the past and you may get to hear something about that, a new partnership, a new business partnership, meeting somebody new. It could even be a startup of a relationship, a personal relationship or a business relationship. So it could be anything about you or other people, your image, something you worked on and suddenly you get recognition for that. The 1st, the 7th house also indicate that. Then I'm going to be talking about Leo and Aquarius. So for Leo and Aquarius, this is the 6th and the 12th house. So there could be a health issue that you may now get some treatment for. Something from the past may come up, something that you have ignored from the past may come up, but you will get the right treatment for that, because this is an exalted Jupiter here now. You may have to go to a hospital, but you may come out of it hale and hearty. This could be related to your service and going away, long distance travel, foreign travel, a visa application that gets through. It could be some litigation and that has been stalled for a while, some kind of a conflict that you get some kind of a positive result over, that's been there in the past for a very long time, and now you get some kind of a positive response from there. So this could be related to litigation, conflict, health, service, travel, long distance travel, even spirituality. You may in the past, maybe you started some spiritual practice and then you left it midway, and you may just start it again. You may feel that energy to bring some kind of a routine, spiritual routine in your daily routine. And now I'm going to be talking about Virgo and Pisces. So for Virgo and Pisces, this is the 5th and the 11th house. So this could be about relationship, this could be about children, this could be about education, long-term ambitions, this could be about your network circle, this could be about creativity, some gains through creativity. So something from the past that you started, something related to creativity, or a child coming, or an old friend coming back to meet you, or entering a network circle, entering some kind of a circle that you were a part of in the past, or some kind of gains through network circles. So it could be connected to the 5th, the 11th house. But other than that, also remember, this could be connected to the natural signification of these planets. And after the 29th of June, Jupiter is moving back into Sagittarius. So then whatever we talked about Jupiter being in Sagittarius, it's going over those things that become more prominent. In this month and a half, something related to this axis could come up in a very positive way. And also do watch the video I made on Saturn being in Uttarashada in Sagittarius, because Jupiter too is in Uttarashada and it's going to go back to Purvashada. So Jupiter too has the energy of Uttarashada. This nakshatra is a great nakshatra for finding solution to problems, to achieving your goals, and Jupiter is a healer. Jupiter is the greatest healer. So Jupiter too going retrograde over this nakshatra is an important energy, and it's just generally a slowing down. But this retrogression in Capricorn gives the effect of an exaltation that we all should feel for the next month and a half. So that's it for now. Do take care of yourselves, and we still are infected by the virus. All of us need to be careful. Let's not go out too much. Let's maintain social distancing. Let's not let it spread. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.